Support for Outdoor Nevada comes from Land Rover Las Vegas and Jaguar Land Rover Reno, proud to help introduce a new generation of adventurers to the diverse experiences that our state has to offer. Information at lrlv.com or jlrreno.com.
Nevada, a landscape as diverse as it is epic, where wide open nature and wild adventure call to the curious and the brave alike.
We had a good night's sleep last night, we've had our coffee, and now they're just about to let out 300 head of cattle, and we're gonna have to be organized enough to get this thing going in the right direction.
I saddle up for the adventure of a lifetime, the Reno Rodeo Cattle Drive.
All right, this is all getting real now.
I play the Buckaroo Olympic Games.
The cook was right up there, probably behind the main trail box.
Catch up with the Dutch diva.
All in all, everything's going well this morning, but you know, this isn't completely easy. We've already had a rider down, non-injured, but you really got to work and you got to pay attention. But that's part of the fun.
And move a herd of 300 cows into the Reno Rodeo. I'm John Burke. I have a passion for the outdoors.
Today we're in the Valley of Fire.
And I'm on a mission to show you the one-of-a-kind history, science, nature, and adventure you find when you step outside. This is Outdoor Nevada. "300 head of cattle, 65 miles of high desert, 4 days in the saddle. One heck of a lot of fun."
Reno Rodeo Roundup. Day one of this here shindig, we've made it to our very first rendezvous point. And this is where it gets interesting because, as you can see, we take this seriously.
The Reno Rodeo is known as the wildest, richest rodeo in the West. And for the past 25 years, it has started with a cattle drive in Doyle, California, and ended with a parade through the streets of Reno.
It's about to get really dusty, and it's about to get a lot of fun.
There are all levels of experience here, but the organizers swear there's a horse that's right for every rider. Well, I'm about to put that to the test.
Well, we've just been assigned our horses, and now everybody's heading this way because we're gonna have what's called a Shakedown Ride. And this is where we find out if the love connection is really gonna work.
My horse is called Amos, and after being on Outdoor Nevada, I suppose he'll be Famous Amos.
Well, I just took my designated horse for a test drive, Amos, and it is a match made in heaven. We're gonna have a great time together because tomorrow we're gonna start herding these guys about 65 miles away. I hope you guys are ready to move, because from here on out, it gets busy.
But before we hit the open range, a greenhorn like me needs to show his worth and compete in the Buckaroo Olympics, a race that tests vital cowboy skills and gets everybody warmed up for the real challenge.
We've all eaten dinner, the sun's going down, the games have started. The Buckaroo Olympics are getting underway. Now this is obviously very silly, but it's also team building. We're gonna need it for the days ahead.
The relay race is pretty straightforward. Teams must race through a course blindfolded, saddle a barrel, rope a straw steer, toss 3 cow chips into a basket, hammer in a horseshoe, and finally, milk a fake cow.
Hands in, slate blue, slate blue. Ready? Hands in. Slate blue, activate. 1, 2, 3, activate! That was terrible. All right, let's go get them.
Hopefully my team does better in the race than we did with the cheer. We'll find out soon because it's our turn in the Buckaroo Olympics.
All right, this is all getting real now.
That's okay if you can see a little bit.
Ready? Go! Straight. Straight.
Team Slate Blue made short work of the blindfold challenge.
Get the saddle, get the saddle. Get the saddle, Kate. Here we go. One. Get it on there. Here we go. Are we ready? Get the cinch out. Ready? Here we go.
And all of a sudden, things start clicking.
Can we go to cow patties? Let's go. Cow patties. How many do we have to get? 3?
3.
Yeah, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
2, 3. 2, 3. All right, let's go. Get in, Kate. Go. Got it, right? We're done.
Are you done?
What?
Yeah, I got you. 256.
256. 256. Winners. 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 All right. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. I saw you with us. Great going. Great going. All right. Nice job.
For a while, Team Slate Blue was in first place. But just like the real Olympics, we experienced the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat when Team Red Bandana takes the top prize.
Congratulations. Not only did you beat us, you whooped us. You whooped us. Congratulations. You earned it.
Legally. Yes. Yes. It was legal.
So the games are over. Everything now is beginning to tone down. The stars are coming out like the beautiful night that it is. And tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's the day that we kick off. We've got a long way to go, a short time to get there. 300 head of cattle. We got to move into Reno. Here's the important thing. We're ready to go. Everybody's still friends, and nobody got hurt.
The night sky in the high desert is a thing of beauty, but the sound of 300 cattle keeps my mind from wandering too far from the task at hand. As the sun rises on the first real day of work, I'm mostly just excited. I can't believe I'm about to become a buckaroo on the world's most famous cattle drive.
Okay, so this is day 1 of the cattle drive itself, and we're all set up. We've gotten all oriented, we've got our horses, we had a good night's sleep last night, we've had our coffee, and now they're just about to let out 300 head of cattle, and we're gonna have to be organized enough to get this thing going in the right direction. It's about to be chaos in the best possible way.
While a cattle drive may seem like chaos, there's a method to the madness.
These cattle are going to be pretty frisky when we let them out, okay? So we're going to have to try to hold them, and let me try to explain how we do that. So think of a big old oval. You want to try to keep the herd in that shape. And up at the front is the wing, okay? There's a left and right wing. And then there's swing in the middle, flank at the bottom, and then drag is pushing. So drag's job is to push. Everybody else is trying to contain.
Of course, keeping a herd of cows in an oval shape over 65 miles of desert brush is easier said than done, but that's the plan. So it's time to pick up my ride.
Amos, Amos.
Had put his headstall on. Got it? Yep. All right, you ready to go, man?
Thanks, man. All right, this is it. Yes, Amos says it's time to go. It's time to go punch some doggies. Herd those cattle. We're all set up. Let's go, Amos. Let's go to work. Let's go this way.
With Amos and me on patrol, hey, what could possibly go wrong? Look out! Stampede! The 25th annual Reno Rodeo Cattle Drive started with a stampede right off the gate. Fortunately, the experienced wranglers have seen this before.
The kickoff has happened. The cattle have been released from the pen. We had a few hiccups. They tried to get a little excited and get off the path, but we got it under control. And everybody's taking a breather. We're exhaling after the initial explosion, and now everything's good.
Our second stampede. Maybe I spoke too soon. But once again, we managed to get the cows under control.
All in all, everything's going well this morning, but you know, this isn't completely easy. We've already had a rider down, non-injured, but you really got to work and you got to pay attention. But that's part of the fun.
The rest of the first day goes smoothly despite a little dust, and every once in a while we take breaks and rodeer the cattle. Rodeer is a Spanish term that means to circle the cows with horses facing in.
Oh, yeah. Whew. What a great day on the trail. They promised a long, hot, dusty day, and boy, did they deliver. The horses are tired, the cattle are tired, the people are exhausted. This is a perfect place to set up our second camp. That's what everybody's doing now, is setting up their tents, and I'm sure I'm gonna meet them all at the cantina. What a great day.
By the end of the day, we've moved the cows out of California, which is a good thing, since after all, this is outdoor Nevada.
So the first leg of the cattle drive is over, and I've been sort of laying back, just getting the information I need to really do a good job, and I'm glad that I've done that. But as you can see, a large part of this experience is about the community. And so now it's really time to dig our heels in and get to meet some of the people that make this whole thing happen.
If there's one driving force behind the cattle drive, it's this man, David J.D. Seamus.
This is the guy I wanted you to meet. This is David Seamus. David, tell me about your involvement in this cattle drive. What is it that you do here?
Well, my wife and I, Susan, are the sponsors. We have a little family ranch company called Sierra Dorado. We're one of many local sponsors, about 60 or 70, but we are the sponsor of the Reno Rodeo Cattle Drive.
So to be involved that deeply, you obviously care a lot about this. What is it you care about? What is it you're trying to promote?
Because what we're trying to do is to get people to appreciate that 200 or 300 years ago, what made America great was the cowboy way of life. That's what happened, and that's who we are. And while that may be missing with the hustle and bustle of high-rise buildings and cities and streets, here in northern Nevada, it's still here, and you can still participate in it.
And this really is pretty close to the way it was 200 to 300 years ago, huh?
There's no question. Where we do this cattle drive, as you can see, there are very few fences. This is almost like it was several hundred years ago. And the thing that I think that matters most to me as a person, I've always loved the cowboy way of life. I mean, as a young boy, I grew up with Roy Rogers and John Wayne and Hopalong Cassidy and all these people. It's alive and well here. And the thing that I want to portray and to project to our guests is some of the most honest people in the world with integrity are cowboys. Northern Nevada, we call them buckaroos.
And the man who leads the Buckaroos is the trail boss, Butch Van Leuven.
Hey, Butch.
Hey, how are you, John?
How's things, man?
Good.
So, tell me exactly what a trail boss does. What are you in charge of?
All of it. All the organizing, it takes over a year to do. And from the time we end today, or on Thursday when we come into Reno, folks will be signing up, and it starts again for me.
Just seeing you on the trail today, seeing you mingle with the people, I know you love it. What do you love about it?
Oh, I mean, the people we've met from Japan, Australia, Canada, England, you never know what you're going to get out here. You never do.
It's a sense of community, isn't it? And when people come out here.
Oh, and you have to remember, all of us are volunteers. This is not everything that happens here. Everybody takes a week off vacations, whatever their jobs are in Reno, and they come out and give a week of their time to help support what we do out here, and that's pretty darn incredible.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 15th year out of the 25 years.
What would you tell somebody who says, oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that, but I just don't know. I don't know if I should do a cattle drive.
I would say this is a bucket list thing, all right? And there isn't many places left that you can do this. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come out and look how beautiful it is out here, the diversity of the terrain and everything you've seen today. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
It is. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but people do it more than once, don't they?
Oh, yes. I have people here been 9, 10 years. This is their vacation. This is their vacation, so that kind of says something about what we do for them.
What do you think it says?
It says they love what we do. They love the people they meet. All of us have been here a long time. It's the camaraderie of coming back. Oh, they know they're going to see me. They're going to see so-and-so. They're going to see this. And they know what the experience is going to be. And they say, we look forward to it. We wait all year long.
After just one day on the trail, I can see why people keep coming back. Tomorrow can't be here soon enough.
It's early in the morning, but everybody's had their coffee, they've had their pancakes, they've put away their tent, and we're all waiting to get reacquainted with our horses because we have a lot more to do on the next leg of this cattle drive. Amos is in there somewhere.
The second day's ride goes smoother than the first, as the greenhorns slowly morph into something approaching buckaroos. We did have one rebellious cow make a break for it, but he didn't get far. And by the end of the day, we're 16 miles closer to Reno.
Wow, what a day. It's this sense of community and a sense of that cowboy spirit where you use what you've got and you do what you got to do no matter what happens. We saw some amazing scenery, had a great time. We're only halfway done. There are things you think about, things you do, and things you should do. Cattle drive is something you should do.
Cowboy's best reward is a warm meal. After a quick cleanup, I meet with my good friend and favorite cook, Terry Bell.
There are several key ingredients to having a really good campsite. First one is proper mode of transportation. You gotta have a good horse. Another one is a really good tent. And the third major ingredient is this, a really good mess hall, a chow hall with really good food. You gotta be able to feed your cowboys. And that's why today we're gonna talk to Terry. Terry and her husband have been coming out here for years to help feed the troops and keep spirits up. Hey, Dutch Diva, how are you?
Hey, John, how you doing? I'd shake your hand, but I'm already in my bread dough. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
So I know you're busy making stuff for tonight's campsite. I want to talk to you about the importance of the cook in the campsite. In old days, tell me about how important the cook was.
Well, in the old days, the camp cook was actually the highest paid person on a cattle drive because keeping the crew well fed, taken care of was really primo to the success of the cattle drive. So the cook was right up there, probably behind the main trail boss.
Yeah. Tell me about the effort that you put into making this as original as possible from back in the day.
Yeah, the Dutch oven cooking really adds that authentic element to the cattle drive because, you know, it's difficult to do it all authentic like they did with the number of people that we have. So obviously we have a caterer that does the bulk of the food. But this lends some authenticity. They see how it was really done on the drive with charcoal or coals from the fire. So they get to see a real piece of the Old West.
Well, listen, get back to work.
Yeah, okay.
Don't be talking to me.
I will.
Thanks for doing such a great job.
You're messing with my bread.
All right.
Today was such a success thanks to the expert riders out on the trail.
Hey, Morgan, can I borrow you for a second?
Yeah, of course.
We'll be right back. How are you?
I'm
How's
well.
things?
How are you?
Man, you were killing it on the trail today.
Oh, thanks.
So, are you here by yourself? What's the occasion? Is this a vacation?
I'm actually here on vacation with my mother. This was always a bucket list item of hers. She had looked at them for years and years and years, said, I really want to do this, and we just kept talking about it and didn't see any reason why it wasn't happening. And I just graduated college, so she ended up planning it for this year, kind of as a graduation present, kind of as a bucket list item.
That's awesome. Is she having a great time too?
She is having a wonderful time. She's having the time of her life.
That's awesome. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time, so I'll let you get back to the bar. But thanks. It was so good to meet you and talk to you.
No problem. It was great talking to you.
Good riders need great horses. So let's meet the man in charge of them.
When you're out on the trail and you have a question about the horses, you'll learn real quick that there's a guy named Dave who's in control of them all. So I've walked up here to the corral to have a few words with him. Hey, Dave! I know you're busy. Can I talk to you?
How are you doing, John?
Great, great. Tell me a little bit more about your role in this whole cattle drive.
We're Frontier Pack Trains, and what we do is we have the contract to supply the saddle horses for the cattle drive. That's our role. Safety, number one. Get the people on the horses. We supply all the gear, saddles, etc. Make sure they have a safe experience.
So somebody who wants to do this but has never been on a horse before might be a little intimidated. What do you say?
We have the horses for those type of people. We have horses that can take expert riders, and we also have the horses which are our gold, are the ones that the people have never ridden a horse, that keep them safe and have an enjoyable experience. Those are the ones that are really the ones that we cherish the most.
Do you ever get somebody that shows up and says, I can't do it, and by the end of the day, they're killing it?
Right, all it is, I tell everybody, you know, let's start slow, you'll gain confidence every day, you'll be better and better rider, but you do anything for 8 hours a day, you're gonna get better at it. And these people, they get on the horse, they get more comfortable, they get a little bit more confidence. By the third day, we see huge improvements. And then by the fourth and fifth day, we're rolling.
You said it. That's exactly how I feel right now.
Right.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, you
really appreciate it.
And as you can see, people really do become attached to their horses.
Well, I just got finished with dinner, steak dinner. You wouldn't expect anything less, would you? One of my favorite things about being out here is that it seems like everybody has a story. And from what I've heard, this young lady is no different. Ann, hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
So you've been here, this is your 9th one. Give me one of your favorite memories.
I think one of my favorite memories was I won the top hand 2 years ago.
What is the top hand?
Top hand, as they've told me, was I have passion, kindness, initiative, and caring. And that was a tough cattle drive that year.
What's the art to being a good cowgirl?
Compassion and loving and not judging. You just go out and do your best and you don't judge anybody.
All right.
You know, you're out there for a good time and you're out there for the horses and yourselves and your buddy.
Everyone around here told me I should talk to you and they were right.
I could go on.
I know you're a rock star. I like you a lot. I'll see you next year.
Okay.
There's so much to learn out on the trail. Some things are practical, like how to move a herd of cows, and others go far deeper. It turns out, nighttime on the high desert is a great place for introspection. It's the 3rd day, and we're up at the crack of dawn again, but now we're moving cattle like we actually know what we're doing. After another long day of moving along little dogies, I'm spent but content. It's the last night of the ride, so I check in with J.D. Seamus to see how I've measured up.
JD,
Hey,
how are you, sir?
good, John. How are you?
Nothing like taking a break after a cattle drive, huh?
Especially in the shade.
Hey, what's your assessment? How did it go today? How's it going overall?
Today was a great day. The riders did well. No one got hurt. We had a great time. Came into camp an hour early, and that's a great day.
How'd that highfalutin TV host do?
I was shocked. He actually moved a few cows.
He did,
Yeah, he did. I don't know if he did it because they were afraid or if he knew what he was doing, but it looked pretty good.
JD's being kind, and now it's time to check in with the folks at the bar.
Len, how you doing, sir?
John, good to see you. How are you?
One of my favorite guys here on the trail.
Hey, here we go. What can I do for you?
I need a cowboy drink, maybe a whiskey.
Sounds good.
So who came up with the idea for a mobile bar?
My brother did. About 8 years ago, decided that card table he'd been using his bar wasn't cutting it.
And it's been a big hit, I bet.
Yes, it has.
What are the hours on the bar here?
Until the crowd gets tired, basically. You know, they're out riding all day. They come back Thursday. We open the bar when they get here, and we go till about 10 o'clock, 10:30.
What do you like about doing this? Because you got one of the best jobs here on the whole cattle drive.
Well, I get a lot more respect tending bar than I used to get at riding a horse, put it that way.
And so our last night ends with good music, good drinks, and great people. But it's a little sad too, because tomorrow our ride comes to an end as we head into Reno.
Well, just like every other morning, we got up early about 5 o'clock, we had breakfast, and we broke camp. But what makes today a little bit different is that it's our last day. It's our last day breaking camp. And as you'll see, everybody's dressed in pink, because as we pull into Reno in the rodeo fairgrounds, we're going to be showing our support for breast cancer awareness. It's just one more example that you find out here of the Cowboy Spirit.
And for one final time, the herd is off with Reno in sight. As we head down into the city, the excitement builds. People are lined up to see the herd come into town, and while I'd like to say I'm staying cool and collected, this actually is my first rodeo.
We did it, we made it. We didn't lose a single cow. And the thing is, we made it right through Reno, right here into the rodeo. What a time.
It hasn't been easy herding these cattle across 2 states, but it's definitely been worth it.
There's this really interesting moment, and it's bittersweet. You come up over this ridge and you see the city of Reno. You haven't seen a city in days, and you're looking down there and you're thinking, they got hot showers down there. They got cold drinks down there. I want to go. But at the same time, you're thinking, but I could stay another 3 or 4 days out here easy. Coming over that ridge it's a very bittersweet moment.
For the next 9 days, this arena is going to be rocking with the wildest, richest rodeo in the West. And I'm going to remember the cattle drive for the rest of my life.
One thing I've learned about Nevada and its people, especially on this trip, is this thing called the Cowboy Spirit. And the Cowboy Spirit basically says you do what's right. And you do it with what you have, and you do it when you have to do it with no excuses, and don't accept any gratitude if you don't have to. After meeting all these people and doing what we just did over the last 4 days, I can assure you that the Cowboy Spirit is alive and well.